Hey everyone, Gherky here with Exis Network. Today, we're bringing you a full beginner's guide for Brown Dust 2. There is a lot to cover here, so if there's something I miss, I do apologize. Feel free to comment or message me on Discord, and I can answer your questions and possibly make a video for whatever I miss. So we're going to start from right after the tutorial. Alright, so you go through the tutorial, and you get your summons, your infinite reroll, etc., and then we get over to the story packs. These are basically game cartridges, at least that's the way they portray them. Each of the story packs will have main story quests. They'll unlock new challenge board challenges. There is an NPC quest that gives you additional really good rewards. There's a hard and a very hard section to each of these as well. I have not attempted hard because it requires double the CP that I currently have. It looks like there's 8 different story packs. One of the things that happens in the story packs as well, I'm not sure if it happens with all of them or just some of them as of right now, but once you complete a story pack, it seems as though there are 1 or 2 units that show up in the pub permanently. Cat Daddy, this one right here, there's a unit that shows up in the... It's a 5-star unit that shows up in the pub. That is the only unit in the game that gives a full bar of SP. So on your turn 1, you can use all of your units, bust off all your ultimates or whatever, and if you have multiple costumes for those units, you can go ahead and at the end of the turn use this unit to completely refill your SP. His name starts with an F. I apologize if I forgot what it is. Character packs. These are basically character side stories. When you're playing these, you'll have a certain amount of select units that you can use. Usually start them off with like 1 or 2 units. A couple more come on. You'll get 4 or 5 by the end. You can only use those units. You can't use any of your units that you've leveled. These packs right here are where you're going to have to actually strategize for most of the battles. That's something we'll get into here in a few minutes because the battles are not as simple as people might think at first glance. Special packs. This is your content outside of story mode. So we have Mirror Wars. This is your PvP. What you do is you go in here, you set up your defense and your offense, and of course this game is going to do the loading error issue right now and sit here for fucking 10 minutes and load. But you go through, you set up your defense and you set up your offense. Then you go click start, it'll match you up, and you'll fight with someone. It's it's fun, but at the same time, it's the same thing that every other game has to offer. Evil Castle. This is your tower defense, not tower defense, tower mode. Sorry, with a twist. So the tower mode. What happens is you go in, like floor 1, for instance. It's a gauntlet with rooms off to the side. So if you go up to the first intersection, and you can go left or right. One direction has a statue that you can touch that'll stop the. They have these big block spike things that fall down that damage you, and they have like these pendulum axes that do damage to you. It's pretty fun, and I'm gonna go ahead and here and show you real quick. I'm not gonna complete it. I'm not even gonna go through it. I actually have I've attempted this one time. My CP is a little bit low, so I haven't been able to get through it. I went 100%. So go up here. You go to floor 1. I think it's neat. It's gonna force players to actually do more than click and point. As you see, watch what happens. I get hit. All my units take damage. And as I said, you can go stunned. You can go up through here. And when you use this, it stops the pendulums. And you go down here. And there's a fight. Alright, we got that out of the way. Path of Adventure. This is going to be your basic resources, your experience potions, and gold. I'm not sure if there's any more. It looks like these are the only two there. There are multiple difficulties. You know, you see down here you get your slimes for your experience points and your gold. All right, let's move on to one of the story packs real quick, so I can show you a few things. One of the things that's I would put at like medium importance is there are hidden items throughout the map. If you go to your map, you will see down here in the corner that I had 0 of 3 treasure chests. And I'm not sure why, because I found them all. But anyway, you go through, you get your treasure chest, you get that completed. Then you have basic finds. When you're running by an area, you'll notice sometimes that there's a flash. I'm not sure why it's letting me get these again. I literally just got all 3 of these treasure chests about 5 minutes ago. Maybe it's because I switched devices. I am not sure. So you have that, some exploration to do in there, and on the finds, basic finds are in the map. Search finds are a field action, which I'll get to in a minute. And then when you go back to town, there's town. When you go back to town, there will be a similar function here. When you click the map, now you have basic investigations. What you do is you run around and you look for things to highlight. There you go. That's one. And then you just, you know, it's going to take some time. It's a pain in the butt. But you just walk around and wait for an item to light up. And it's not going to show me, of course. It could be in buildings, outside of buildings. Actually, I should be able to get one in here because I haven't done these yet. And there are 7 in here. So we're going to go up here. See? The highlights, you click it. You get some gold. Sometimes they give you 4, 5, 6 gems and whatnot. Alright, now let's move on to something that is a little bit more interesting. So when you go to your character menu, you have the character information, which shows the gear you have equipped, the costume, skill, battle power. You can feed your units XP there. Costume. Every unit has multiple costumes. The costume is basically your skill. So you have a skill or a costume, you get a skill. This tells you what the skill does. You can upgrade. You need a dupe. I do believe that there is another item in the game that is universal, but you need a dupe for that particular costume in order to level it up. Let me find my one dude. I have him completely maxed out. Loyal Butler. So as you see, I have 2. Lifesteal. You know, heals by blah, 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 does some damage. And then his second ability is, what are you looking at? Gear. So each unit has, from what I've seen so far, each unit looks to have an entire set of gear specific to that unit. I have Alec. Is his name Alec? Yeah, Alec. He got his weapon. One thing I need to go into is the specifics of gear, because there seems to be a lot of misinformation floating around, and people are a little confused on things. So when you get a piece of gear, you can upgrade it to +9. I might not have enough to do it here, but I just go like this, skip it, and then if I have enough, all right, I got the +9 without any issues. So as you can see, there's 3 substats here: crit rate, defense, and then you have your magic attack, which is the main stat on here. Let me just go out here and see if I can find it real quick. This is important. All right, so you see magic attack 9 + 16. Now, people seem to think that these letters right here represent or indicative of the options, that is not the case. Those 3 letters, I don't know exactly how it's factored in, but those 3 letters right here affect your main stats. This is a green item, I only have 1. Let me refine it real quick, see if we can get it better. Just so I can show you, see my magic attack's 25. It just bumped up to A, bumped it up to 26. This has nothing to do with your substats. There is going to be a gear hell in this game, and it's probably going to be worse than Epic 7 and more recently Outer Plane, because it requires multiple resources, which I'm going to get the field skills right now, and we'll start off with gear crafting. So you have these things called rice, and you get 40 of them a day, and every time you farm something, either in the hunting ground or in the resource farming, it uses 1 rice. You can buy 40 more for 170, and then it bumps up to like 700. Alright? It's absolutely ridiculous. But one of the currencies that this game uses, let me find it. I don't know where it's at. Why isn't it showing me it? Anyway, I can show you here. So in order to forge gear, you need multiple resources. This right here, whatever this is called. And you have to buy it with gold. So you need three resources. You know, whatever these are: fine leather, coal, and was that steel? Iron ingot. And these. I forgot what these are called. Now, when you create one, now you see how it says attack 5% to 10%? There's different versions of it. It'll be regular, fine, exceptional, legendary, and so on. And, you know, obviously legendary is going to have the highest modifier on there. And when you upgrade it, those substats are completely random. What I don't like about this game, as far as the gear crafting, is that you can get magic attack on a sword, or a regular attack on a staff. And in case you didn't see real quick, there's 2 complete sets. You have a physical attack, which is the sword and every other piece of armor. So and then the other one is magic. You know, you have a staff, robe, tiara, circlet, whatever you want to call it, and it can pull any of the stats. That's no good. So onto the ability skills. These are skills that you can use out in the open. So search, what search does is it brings up a thing, and now you'll see the green sparkly things on the ground before the search wears off. As you can see right here, it's going. This is how you find those. Oop, I actually hit that. This is how you find these. Search investigations. Cook. This is where you're going to cook the food that replenishes your HP. Again, this is another really big sink. The game does give you a lot of resources for free, but once you blow through those resources, you have to farm each of these items individually. It might take you a full day's worth of farming just to get enough to do, you know, a few battles. Alchemy, it turns lower quality items into higher quality items. And you use the higher quality items, obviously, to do your crafting. Danger detection is for traps. Magic circle is a teleport. Revival brings you guys from fatigued or dead, whatever you want to call them. Gives them 1 HP. And that's how that works. Over here you have your food. When you craft those food, you can turn the auto on and off. So and all the food you craft will automatically go here. So if you craft 30, 30 will go here. You don't select it or anything. This icon right down here is hunting grounds. I don't have any cooked rice, but this will bring you to the hunting grounds where you're gonna fight battles using your cooked rice, and you'll get materials. Like one battle might give you some meat, one battle might give you some leather, one battle might give you some food or ingredients that you can cook food, and things like that. I did make a video on the pub recruitment, which I'm going to touch very, very quickly here, because I have a whole video on it, and I don't want to waste your time. So the way the recruitment system works is you have well, first of all, you have the draw. This is where your summons go. And just to let you know, because there's, again, more infamous information on the Gacha Gaming subreddit. You get 1 free summon on every banner except the general banner every day. So for the first month, or 2 weeks, or first month, or whatever, that's 4 free pulls per day, and for a whole month, that's 120 pulls a month. So, you know, they do have their own individual pity. As you can see, I'm trying to pull dupes on her because there's a current event for a rebate where you can get, if you pull a copy of her, you get 10 draws. If you upgrade her costume, you get 10 more draws, so on and so forth. But that's an event, and that's not something I'm going to cover here. But in the pub system, when you go into a pub, make this really, really, really brief. You get scrolls through rewards, 3, 4, 5-star scrolls. The units will pop up in here. You see 3-star, 4-star. You walk up to them, talk to them, and you can recruit them as long as you have one of those scrolls. You talk to this pub keeper, and you can refresh. It takes gems. It's 50. I've done it like 15 times to get one of my 5-star units. They stay at 50. And when you get the unit you want, there you go. You can recruit it. The shop. Alright, so you can take... I don't have any 3-star... Oh yeah. So in order to get 1 4-star contract, it takes 10 3-star contracts. In order to get 1 5-star, it takes 10 4-star. As you can see, I'm saving up because I want to get Helena. Probably cost me a couple gems, which I don't have to get her. But that's that in a nutshell. I'm going to make a separate video on the you know, basic and advanced combat. As I said before, combat is not, you know, put it on auto and, you know, you just, you know, face roll everything. It does not work like that. Combat, most normal fights you can auto through, but boss fights, you're going to want to manual it. Some of them you'll have to manual. Some of them you just simply cannot auto through, because there's a push and pull system where you can push units back, you can push units to the side, you can pull units towards you, and you can set your units up to, you know, let's say you have an AOE skill that can kill 4 units, but you know, because of the spaces that the AOE takes up and hits, you know, it's only going to hit 2 units. So what you do is you can push or pull two units with your other units, set them up, big AOE. Sometimes there's some dynamite and other things in combat you can utilize. There's a burning system. There's a lot of different systems in combat, which again I will make another video for. After, I just wanted to get some basic information about the game down in case anybody's lost or doesn't read anything like me. I learn everything the hard way, unfortunately. I'll see if there's anything else in here real quick that I need to talk about, because I will do a separate video that'll encompass the side stories and the different pieces of content. Now again, there's a pass. This is one thing I like about the game. You can buy the pass for 1,000 gems. You don't have to spend cash on it. Absolutely worth 1,000 gems. One thing I don't like about the game is there are no packages. I don't care what that says. This is the monthly, basically, login, and there's another for $42, $42.99. And then if you go to the shop, there's just no packages. It's diamonds, and then that's it. I mean, absolutely horrible. You know, there's no packages with, you know, I don't know, 100,000 gold and some XP potions, lots of slimes or whatever. I wish they'd put that in. What is this? Well, anyway, my game froze because LD player sucks. This is about where I'm going to end the video anyway. Again, if I missed anything, feel free to message me, leave a comment here. I'm on Discord all day. Well, have fun, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.